This video is powered by Mockout, the app. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Buns video. Today I will be going over the Denver Broncos 7-round mock draft. In round 1, I have the Denver Broncos in an interesting situation. In my opinion, Barkley, Bradley Chubb, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen will all be off the board by the time they pick. So that leaves you really in an interesting situation because a lot of the top tier players that are still left, such as Minkah Fitzpatrick, aren't really players that Denver needs. So I see them looking to the future and selecting QB Josh Allen from Wyoming. And Josh Allen isn't going to be the type of guy that steps in right away and tears it up, but the Broncos don't need him to be. They have Keenum, who's a good QB and a smart QB, which is the most important thing. And Josh Allen can learn from Keenum, and within a few years could take over the offense and be a really good QB for Denver, especially with John Elway there to mentor him. I really like this pick. I think it's an excellent decision. Round 2 with pick number 40. I have the Denver Broncos again focusing on their offense and addressing their O-line, which is notoriously terrible, by taking Brian O'Neill, the offensive tackle from Pitt. This is a guy that reminds me a lot of Nate Soldier, the former Patriots offensive tackle, now the highest paid tackle in the league with the Giants. Brian O'Neill ran a 4.82 40 at 6'7" and 305 pounds, so amazing athlete, very quick, very tall, plays with really good leverage. I think he could develop into a really good tackle for the Broncos. It'd be a guy that holds down that side for him a lot like Soldier did with the Patriots for years. Round 3. Pick number 71 out of the Denver Broncos, focusing on their defense and taking defensive tackle B.J. Hill from NC State. B.J. Hill ran a 4.99 40 at 315 pounds and also posted up at 35 on the bench press. Pretty sure the record's at 42. So great athlete, puts in a lot of time in the weight room, dedicated. I really like him. He's the type of guy that could take up blockers so that Von Miller can wreak havoc. If I had to make a pro comparison for him, I would kind of say like a Marcel Darius, and a smaller Marcel Darius. Really good at occupying blockers. I think he could be a steal here in the 3rd round for Denver. With pick number 99 in this draft, I have the Denver Broncos taking a guy who I think could be a real big steal in Troy Fumagalli, the tight end from Wisconsin. And Fumagalli, my comparison for him is Jason Witten. Now, before you leave the video, remember this. Even though Witten was a top tight end in college, he got drafted in the 3rd round. And for the same reasons, Fumagalli will fall to a later round than he should fall. The scouts look at them and think they aren't athletic enough, aren't fast enough, and all of that is true, but I think the most important thing about playing tight end is how smart you are. This is a position that requires smarts, knowing how to block, knowing how to find the gaps in the defense, knowing how to get open. It's a position that requires a lot of smarts, and Fumagalli has it. He knows how to get open, and he also has great hands. He runs great routes. I think he could be like a poor man's Jason Witten, or even as good as Jason Witten. I really like Fumagalli. I think he'll be a real steal, and he could be a great addition to Denver's offense. The 106th pick overall, round 4. I have the Broncos going offense again and taking Akrum Wadley, the running back from Iowa. Wadley, he doesn't really have the size to be a full-time NFL starter, but I think maybe he could be. The Broncos just cut C.J. Anderson, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Wadley could step in and take over. This guy is just a really hard prospect for me to decide on, because at times he's looked amazing. In that Penn State game, he was looking like not as good as Saquon, but darn near it. He was taking over the game for Iowa, playing great. But other times this season, he just disappeared. So this is a bit of an interesting pick for Denver. At worst, I think Wadley could, really not be good. But at best, I think he could be a really good running back. Maybe like a top 12, top 10 eventually in his career if Denver develops him well and lets him take over a full-time starter role. This is kind of a risky pick, but I think it's a good one. In round 4, with the 113th overall pick, I have Denver focusing on defense by taking Kamoko Atre, the pass rusher from Rutgers. Or Kamoko Toure, sorry. Toure is a really good athlete, shows explosiveness. He's not the best run defender. He's kind of weak in run defense, but Denver doesn't really care about that, I think, because they did have one of the top rush defenses of the league this year, so the rest of the defense can make up for Toure's lack of run stuffing ability. The thing they will want out of Toure is his ability to help Von Miller rush the passer. Toure is explosive off the edge and did get as much recognition as he should in college because Rutgers didn't really utilize him the best, had him dropping into coverage too much. So this is a bit of a sleeper prospect who could be pretty good. He'll never be able to defend the run very well, I think. He's just a bad run defender. But in the passing game, he could make a real impact. Fast, twitchy, explosive. Could come in and compete with Shane Ray for that 3-4 outside linebacker spot. Help Von Miller get more pressure. And, too many pass rushers is never a bad thing. Saw Super Bowl champions this year, the Eagles. That full rotation is a dangerous thing, and Denver will want one, I think. Round 5, pick 149. Have the Denver Broncos go defense again with inside linebacker Azim Victor from Washington. Victor is a pretty good player, smart. He could be a nice linebacker for them. Never really a starter, I don't think. But a good guy to help complement Brandon Marshall, bring him in on certain downs. Add some nice depth. I like this pick here. Good pick, not amazing. Pick 160, Denver's last pick of this draft. I have them focusing on the offensive line again and taking offensive guard Scott Quisenberry from UCLA. Quisenberry's been up and down draft boards all this season. He's really smart, shows a lot of awareness, high football IQ. The downsides to him is he's not a nasty run blocker. He's not going to go out there and punish people like Kelechi Osemele does or like Zach Martin does. A comparison for him, to me, I think you could compare him to, at best, like an Andrew Norwell type player. Really smart, really good pass protection, but not that nasty run blocker you want. Not nasty in the run game like you want him to be. But he could be a good player. I think he'd definitely be a starter just because Denver's O-line is so bad. I think he'd really help out Denver's offense, get that O-line up to shape. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the mock draft in the comments section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya. Buns out.